everybody? Welcome to another episode of Creators Outlet. And just beforehand, let's get this up there because some shit's about to go down. And this is, I know Sully looks like something like a cucaracha out of Mad Balls, but it's a little rougher than that, I'd say.
Yes, that's a good disclaimer. That's a good warning for everybody. It's definitely a cartoon type comic orientated towards adults. So it's definitely a little bit I don't know, a little rough around the edges, I'd say.
Just a little bit. So right off the bat, you're sitting at 290 backers, 17 days left.
Yes.
444% of goal. $13,335.
Yeah, I would say feeling pretty good about my first campaign.
Yeah, you got a nice little one-liner from Matt Fowler.
Yep.
Garbage Pail Kids meet Sin City. It was dope.
Yep, he coined that perfectly, man. And it's funny when you're busy with your own work and shit like that. You don't have that outside. It's hard to step outside of it and kind of like sum it up perfectly and pitch it, and then that's where a good experienced mind comes in. And he had that nice little pitch right there. Roach Balls is Garbage Pail Kids meets Sin City. It's perfect.
Oh yeah. So you've been working on this a long time. So I've been, jumping in and out of like your YouTube channel when you were going live, working on stuff with just, posting up some cool videos.
Yep.
So how long was this from start to here?
Way longer than what you've seen on the YouTube, like way years beforehand. Say early in 2000s, like 2003, 4-ish.
Wow.
Yeah, when I first came up with the character, life takes funny, takes you on funny roads. So it was never a consistent thing working on this guy. And, but it was always in my mind, so I was always like chipping away at this character, building him up, breaking him down. And then after I kind of figured out what his look was going to be, I kind of had to figure out his environment and what his purpose was. And, thought about that for a couple years on and off. And then it wasn't until the lockdowns where I was just laying in bed and just, you have that divine inspiration. So and that's when I started.
And I got to do something because I can't go out and do anything. So, So I'm just looking at this and I'm seeing Rich Ayala is from Rhode Island.
Yeah. Yep.
So am I.
Oh, no kidding, huh? Nice. That's what's up. There's a lot of us from Rhode Island, surprisingly.
Not anymore. I'm an asshole now, but
yeah.
I grew up in Warwick, where I lived only a few blocks away from Airport Road.
Yep.
When I was 11, we sold the house and moved to the Bucket. I lived there for about 20 years. Hey, I had some great times there. I found my first comic store ever in the Bucket.
Nice.
So,
yeah,
and I still go there. It's in Mass now, but it's been in Mass for about 30 years. But I mean, I'm going to be 53 this year.
Yep.
And I found this shop while I was bunking high school at the age of 15. I walked by it, and then like 30 seconds after I walked by it, your brain goes ding, 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 ding. Hey, stupid, that's a comic shop.
Yep.
And I turn around, and it was just like a little hole in the wall, like in the front, not a whole lot of stuff, like the new stuff on the wall, and like about 15 or 20 like long boxes across the front window and some decorations up. And I'm like, I go and I go,
yeah.
Wow. He's like, yeah, you'll get over that in a minute.
Yeah, sensory overload.
And I found that when George Perez, who sadly won't be with us much longer, was doing Crisis on Infinite Earths way back when.
Yeah.
And then I discovered George and Marv on their run of Teen Titans, which was awesome. See, mainstream comics used to be cool like decades ago.
Yeah.
Or even like all right. But even then, I still was always into like, some indie stuff.
You know what the crazy thing is like I remember a lot of George Perez's shit, but from like I'm not a huge like devoted fan of George Perez, but if you collected comics as a kid, you definitely came across a lot of his stuff, you know.
Oh yeah.
So it's like on his that it's cool. Like, you know, obviously when he passes, it's gonna be a sad day, especially for his close friends and family and everybody who's a diehard fan of his. The thing is, though, that guy has left such a crazy legacy behind. Like, you know what I mean? That guy's just gonna live on forever for the longest freaking time.
Oh yeah.
People are gonna keep his memory alive. It's insane. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of cool comic book shops around here, especially like Rubber Chicken in Bellingham, Massachusetts.
Yep, Jay.
Yep, Jay's the man. That's awesome, dude. Yeah, I work in Bellingham at a tattoo shop in Bellingham. So we used to be a lot closer in the same plaza as Rubber Chicken Comics. And I was there like every weekend giving this guy my money. He even set me up with like a layaway program for a while. It was awesome.
Oh yeah. I used to go there because I go to Wild Time in Attleboro.
Yeah.
Because that's the shop. It's had a couple of names over the years and it changed owners. The manager ended up buying it when the owner retired, but I've gone to Rubber Chicken a whole bunch of times. I got some really cool stuff. Hey, good day, mate. Dean, how are you?
Dean's killing it right now in the bloodbath. The blood, what is it? The bloodbath, that contest, the CG bloodbath.
Oh yeah. I just got his and Ogden's book in about a month ago.
Nice. The Embrace.
The Embrace. I've read it a couple times. I can't wait for the next issue.
Dope. I'm slacking. I got busy with the campaign. I'm so broke, and there's like so much. I have a whole freaking list of all the homie shit that I want to get. Especially, I really want to get Napalm Brothers. I want to get that omnibus so bad, shirts and stuff. But you know, money. But yeah, I did. Right? Rubber Chicken Comics did years ago. They did an anthology series for Halloween, and that was my first like legit kind of published thing, I guess.
Oh, cool!
I did a short story with them, and that was pretty awesome. That definitely, like, I did a comic book before with a friend and he published it in a small like lookbook magazine, but it was like part of a fashion magazine, so it was just in the back and it was like a tiny little, like almost like an ash can type size.
Yeah.
That anthology series that Rubber Chicken presents was that was awesome. That got me that definitely got my cut my teeth on that.
Oh yeah, I've gone there like so many times, and I've got a custom airbrushed. I'm a huge Joker fan. Matter of fact, as you know, my tag on Twitter is Joker fan. So my buddy that I used to work with at one of the clubs is an airbrush artist. And years ago, probably about 30 years ago now, he airbrushed me a custom Joker leather jacket.
Nice.
And it's all done after Alex Ross. So it's all like Ross art from the big like DC book, so it's all like out of the Joker stuff, and it's a big montage. And then
realistic.
Yeah, and you know how like the biker leathers have like that band at the bottom of the jacket?
Yes. Yep.
So the band on the bottom of the jacket at the back actually has Batman and Joker at each other's throats.
Sick. So
I'm like, I had somebody offer me $4,000 at a convention once. I go, You don't have $4,000. Well, not on me. I go, okay, go away. But I've had people stop me to take pictures and everything else. And I go, oh, that's cool.
That's dope. Yeah, I'm not a big Batman fan, but as a kid, I always loved villains. So like came across Batman, the Joker was obviously cool. And his whole I remember liking his color concept. So you kind of see a little bit of that inspiration in Sully's color patterns and looking up the old school, like how to build superheroes and the whole, I think there was like a Marvel way of like color patterns and color schemes for heroes and villains. And I definitely went the villainous route with Sully's whole, color scheme.
I don't know why you'd say he's a villain. He's only got like a knife coming at you over his head.
He's a misunderstood street person.
Yeah, he's totally misunderstood. So for starters, let's play the campaign video.
Yeah.
Oops, wrong page. I keep forgetting I can't click on the one on StreamYard. I got to do it this way. There we go.
Welcome to Cat Shit Island, a toxic, radioactive nightmare. To survive the freaks, beasts, and gangs, you're going to balls. Dreaming
love it, touch it, clutch it, shoot it, smoke it, snort it, fuck it. I be on another level. Call of Duty, took that metal. They so fruity, call it pebble. Make it bubble like a kettle. I'm so dope, I be illegal. People bring it back, they call it sequel. Treat it right, I be so equal. I'm so fly, I be like eagle. Just so that they say I'm regal, so me that they say I'm evil. Walk around like I don't see them.
Rich Ayala's Roach Balls. Back it today on Indiegogo. Sully Cucaracha is one roach you can't stamp out.
Well, damn, dude.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I guess when you just come out of the gate, come out swinging. That's what I'm gonna say. First timers, if you're gonna make a trailer, make sure it's you get the right person to do it. 9 Days of YouTube hooked it the hell up with this shit.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and
that
was the voiceover on this as well.
That's a great trailer, dude. I'm looking at this and I'm seeing influence like heavy metal magazine influences.
Yeah.
And I'm seeing super heavy, like underground comic influences, like, you know,
Yes.
the 80s and 90s undergrounds, you know, and the indie scene back then where everything was like raw as fuck.
Yeah. This whole comic is basically built off of stuff that kids shouldn't have gotten into, you know,
Mhm.
and when it comes to like cartoons and comic books and stuff, but that's the stuff that stuck with me and like shifted my whole mental paradigm. Because at that time I was, you know, drawing little Disney characters and shit, and you know, I had Marvel comics and whatever, and some DC comics laying around. And I was always like, even with Disney, Marvel, and DC, I was always just attracted to the bad guys, the more, you know, negative characters and shit like that. So all that stuck with me. And then after that, I broke into or got inspired by coming across Heavy Metal Magazine, our Crumb, certain cartoons at night that you shouldn't have watched, Liquid Television, and you know, even down to the physical features of the comic book, like the way it looks and the mediums I used and the way I wanted it to look on the page was greatly inspired by heavy metal. Because I remember going through all the color, and a lot of it was done with like hand-drawn mediums, and they had a certain look to them. And I missed that look, you know? So it was like how you had the cool newsprint that had a certain look, and then after that you had the hand-drawn traditional mediums on paper and then printed, and that had a certain look. And now it's like very cool and it's very advanced, but I've regarded it too as like high budget special effects in movies, you know. It's cool if that's what you want, but I'm not really down with that Michael Bay, Steven Spielberg shit. I'd rather do the old school, you know, Peter Jackson and you know, underground grimy shit. So like be practical effects. That type of stuff.
Let's take a look down here. I love like the old school spray paint tag on the logo right there.
Yeah, I was first I had a couple different type of fonts at first, and some were a little plainer, because the important thing about fonts, you got to obviously make them legible. So you can make them bright and poppy, but you have to read them, and they have to look good too, because it's like this tricky thing where it's like you can't have it too complex, but you can't have it too plain either, you know. So obviously with the whole street style and the way this looks, I remember specifically bubble letters was the thing. Like females love bubble letters. Like even growing up in school, like drawing, you always had girls, oh, draw me some letters. I want bubble letters, man. And dudes love bubble letters as well. So I figured like that's the perfect font. It's like a nice happy medium. So just went with that, and that's, you know, what I did. Each issue too won't be the same color, so I'll have the same logo, but or the same font, but I'm going to switch it up different colors every time.
Cool. I like the slat boards and everything behind the wallpaper.
Yeah, it's that really old school Beavis and Butthead crusty Liquid Television shit. Like nothing's clean.
Yeah.
And everything's got this weird film on it, this weird nasty gunk or slime.
Yeah, but you can't get off.
Yeah.
Yeah, we know that is those are roach eggs.
It's actually roach balls. It's made to look like cereal, but on the back it's what do you call it, a double cover spread cover. So on the back it's something else. I'll hop on camera and show you real quick. All right. So I had some test prints made up to know what I'm doing, so I didn't waste anybody's time and build up the utmost confidence. And this is a test run I did. So a couple things are a little lacking, like the front cover will be a better, better stuff, a little higher up in quality. The same thing with the resolution. But other than that, even for sending in like JPEGs instead of TIFFs, like these still came out pretty good.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the resolution is just going to be that much tighter. You got the nice off cream too. It's not like white. I don't know if you can see it really well. Kind of got that nice look. And then, like I said, Heavy Metal Magazine, big. This is 9x12.
Oh, sweet.
On the back, instead of roach eggs, it's actually roach balls, and it's got ingredients too, and it's at-home remedy thing, or at-home ingredients you can make to kill roaches if you have a problem. So that's what roach balls really are, kinda. But yeah, just more or less like a play on words and shit.
Like mothballs, only different.
Yes, exactly. Yep.
So you had the bare bones here, the issue itself, $25, and I like seeing high numbers. I mean,
Yeah.
we already know you got some pretty high numbers, and this is your first self-published book, right?
Yes.
245 people just bought your book.
It's wild.
And just the book itself.
Yep.
33 people want to give one to a friend.
Yeah, I found that pretty amazing. A lot of people told me that too. Like, I obviously you see this and you're like, oh, people want to, but some people like to read one and then save one too. But I had a decent amount of people hit me up and they're like, no, I'm giving somebody I know is going to love this. So
there's going to be somebody like rush into like one of the grading services because they want to be the first person to have a graded roach balls.
Yeah.
Okay, I got to ask. Who's the missing dude on the back of the milk carton?
That would be me.
Okay.
A little sketch character of myself. So I don't know where I was at.
You're going to be missing on a half gallon of milk because you're going to be doing fulfillment. We won't hear from you for a little bit.
Yeah. I'll make sure to send out an email or two or something. Yeah.
68 completed pages, and you got a lot of stuff you did that's all sold out.
Yep. I wanted to, I really love the whole street art gallery type thing. I've done like a couple art shows and tried selling paintings and stuff. And overall, I didn't like that environment, but I really liked selling one-off art. I really like that. I like the idea of giving something to somebody that, not giving, but then buying it, knowing that nobody else is going to have that, So I figured that would be, it was a bit, I didn't know how it was going to, go, how people were going to deal with that, especially the first 4 original tiers and then being priced at what they were. But, people love it. So it was definitely a great confidence booster and made me feel like I was definitely doing the right thing for myself.
Oh, yeah. Mugshot sold out. Your new favorite problem sold out.
Those were keyframe shots that were actually used in the trailer videos. So like, whoever's getting that is getting a little piece of, I guess, Roach Ball's history, and only they will have that. So I don't think I'm gonna do anything with that.
And Cat Shit Island.
Mm-hmm.
the first, as soon as I hear Cat Shit Island, I'm like, oh, Red and Stimpy. Yeah,
all that type of stuff, Like, and I thought of other names too. Like there was Dog Shit Island, and I looked it up. Obviously you got to do a quick Google reference research or whatever, make sure everything's all good. Mm-hmm. And then just wrote out a couple different names, and same thing with Roach Balls. Like I had a couple different titles too, and I just sat on them for a while. And you just say it out loud, or you just say it to other people. And it's like at first it was Roach Meat and Roach Guts, and it was just like, it doesn't. And then I was like Roach Balls. I was like, I like that. I like that a lot. And then tested out, obviously in the chats and shit, and that obviously it clicked like that. So I knew I had something pretty good. Same thing with Cat Shit Island. I just thought it was funny. I was watching the show with my girl, and there was something about a bunch of cats on an island, and it was that weird vampire movie on a show on Netflix or whatever. And I was going off on the show. I was like, and these fucking idiots going to Cat Shit Island and stuff. And it was just, and then I just treat that my own shit. So I have a bad habit where I make myself laugh, and I've been told like that's psychotic, but like,
hey, I do that shit all the time.
Yeah.
Luckily I'm in a wheelchair. I can't catch it too quick. That's why I got good with throwing axes.
Yeah. Yeah, see, that'd be tight too. You have some axe holsters on your fucking wheelchair and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's fucking with you.
I'm always busting some of my retired military friends. I'm like, how soon can you mount the 50 cal to my wheelchair?
Big.
It's like, why? Because
already.
Just because, yeah. Deadbeat Dad.
Yep, those were some Sunday strip style comics that I did, and the boards going like the long way.
Yeah,
and I had 3 of them, and I don't know. I just I wanted to, because a lot of people were asking about the pages, the original pages, and there's no way I'm getting rid of them for a long time. But I figured I could get rid of these and feel not as bad.
Yeah,
getting rid of them.
Put some original art up, just not this original art.
Yeah, exactly. Hold on to this for a while.
The one here, Trash Talk, that sold. We're just looking at the sold out tiers because
I got one more coming, so think about dropping it this week. So actually, I'll show it off right now.
Oh yeah, let's go.
All right, so it's based on the 4, basically going back to the first 4 original tiers where I just did the homages, and this one's to Old Dirty Bastard, Return to the 36 Chambers, the album cover art where ODB is sitting there with his wondrous glow and his awesome persona on the welfare card. So I got that.
Oh, dude. I got to find some keys to sell this week so I can...
Yeah. Well, that's going up. And the cool thing is like for those specific homages, when you got them, each person that got an homage, since they're a little pricey, they get a bootleg cut of Roach balls as well. So with these bootleg cuts, the ones I showed you, they were a little off. The spine was a little frayed because I didn't get no laminated coating on it or anything like that. So you buy one of those, you get a bootleg cut. Those are like obviously not going to be printed anymore because, for those reasons.
Yeah, they were just kind of like artist proofs.
Yeah. So the next that one, when I release that for as the next art tier, I have ended up coming across one more bootleg cut that will go with that.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I could definitely see this becoming like a late night animated feature thing.
Yeah, I would love to bring it back to that. I feel like adults love cartoons, and
yeah.
I thought I remember being a kid and thinking that like you stop playing with toys and shit like that, and you think you're gonna just like stop watching cartoons, and then you're just like, no. I mean, every other country's got like crazy cartoons for adults and awesome comics for adults, and they really, they really boister that up and really support that. And we're like, I feel like here we're like teeter-tottering. You know what I'm saying? It's just weird.
Mm-hmm.
And like adults, like a lot of the main comics and shit like that are just made for young adults and kids, and they have talking points that are meant for those people. So it's like at this point, it's like if you're an adult like pissing and moaning about like a Marvel or DC at this point, it's like why? They're not even bothering making shit for you. Just step out. Love the shit that you used to love, all the old stuff and all this other shit now. But that's why this is the main focus, is to have that cool thing that adults can be like, fuck yeah, I love this cartoon. I love this comic.
And the Roach crumbs, aka R crumb influence there.
Which specific influence?
Oh no, it's been so long, dude.
Yeah, there's a bigger picture down there when you scroll down further. It's a full on, but that was the one specifically from Bakshi's movie of Fritz the Cat. I think.
Oh damn!
I think
I got that. I got it over. I got both Fritz movies over.
Right, it was amazing, and like I loved Crumb, but Fritz the Cat, the movie specifically changed my, because the comic, like I have Fritz the Cat, the original comic, it's all black and white, just awesome line work, but there's no crazy colors in it. And then Fritz the Cat, when I saw the cartoons, the whole background was awesome. It was such in a dirty, like watercolor type fashion, and I'm obsessed with styles that they know what they're doing and they're really professed and they're really really good at what they do, but at the same time, they could flip it in such a haphazard and lazy style, and it still looks awesome. If not, it looks better than their more, you know what I'm saying, more definitive and more like technical style. So
Oh
when I
yeah.
saw messy watercolors in the background and shit in the environment, I was like, yeah, this is what I kind of want to gear the Roach Balls environment towards.
And Phantom Balls, we all know it's the roach who walks.
Yes. Yep. Like I don't have any Phantom comics now, but I came across the Phantom when I was really young, and I thought he was a bad guy. And I thought it was cool because he had that wolf. He'd just hop out of planes punching people in the forehead with his fucking skull ring. And he had guns and shit, and he looked like a bad guy. And then, like, as I read the comics and then saw that movie years after, and I'm just like, oh, this guy is not, he's a good guy. But I still liked his look. So it's kind of another thing, the whole color pattern, the scheme, like the mask, the bad guy type of style mask. And, you know, it's all inspiration in Sully, like little bits of like classical villainous traits that I tried to put in Sully, but make him, you know, I don't want to say unique and shit because that sounds a little pretentious, but in my own way, a little different.
Yeah. I remember when I was really young that they had the Phantom comic strip in the local paper, and then I remember they had a cartoon that it was like 4 heroes and the kids of those 4 heroes.
Yeah.
So it was like Flash Gordon and his son, the Phantom, and I think his daughter, Mandrake the Magician. Oh no, it was Mandrake the Magician and his daughter. And then there was another character in there that I can't remember the name of right now.
Yeah, I remember what you're talking about too. I vaguely remember that cartoon.
Yeah,
I don't know if I remember seeing it, but I remember seeing like the front cover or something like that along the way.
Oh, thanks, man.
Oh, just in time.
Oh yeah, I just ran out of coffee. Perfect timing.
Nice.
The art is complete. Scrolling. Holographic, glow-in-the-dark, prismatic stickers.
The first 100 people get these cool stickers. Damn, look at all that. Cool.
Shiny.
Yeah, nice and shiny. Look cool, prismatic. Right? Bang, bang, bang. Get the cool. This is the holographic. Surprisingly, this is my favorite one. I thought the glow in the dark would be, but I mean, I still love the glow in the dark, but this one's awesome. And then this is the glow in the dark. So the first 100 backers will get all 3, and then all the first 100 are getting all 3, and then the rest, everybody else is getting one of these.
Oh, cool.
Yep.
Oh, shiny, glow in the dark. 90s gimmicks. They
Yeah.
still work.
Yes, they do.
Ooh.
Yeah, I love glow in the dark shit.
And this is I'm sure this is a message for D-Wag so he doesn't smoke the fake crack rocks.
Yeah. You know what the funny thing is about serendipitous like things and whatnot was obviously I've been working on this story for like years, and I have a plan, or I have a plan for book 2, and it's vital to how the rest of the story kind of plays out and shit, where it's like a little bit of foreshadowing or whatever, and it has to do with like a crack rock. And then then I get into the whole network of things, meet people in CG, and then come across crackback. So it was perfect. And then so I definitely had to get some of these awesome glow in the dark crack rocks made by Steve Worster. They're fake, so don't smoke them, people.
See that? I knew the Star Wars guy was up to something.
Yeah, he's always up to something.
He's like, you don't like Star Wars? Hold on. I got some crack for you.
One of a kind sketch cards. Also going out to the first 100 backers, you get one of a kind sketch card, which I'm frantically trying to
get through.
Yeah, so right here I have 15 done. Bang. And these cool Roach cards. So you got Sully right there, cold chilling. And these Roach cards have little facts on the back about roaches. So Roach fact, 15 out of 100. Below freezing temps ain't shit to a G, but roaches prefer the hot and humid environments. Damn.
Nice.
So I figure people will get a kick out of that. And I just actually, right before I hopped on the show, I just penciled out 3 of them. I don't know if we'll be able to see them.
Oh, yeah.
So this one is roach roids. Because tough motherfuckers can withstand up to 900 times their own body weight. You even lift, bro? Yep. So they got cool little facts on the back. And then when I run out of these facts, I'll be putting up little facts about like the lore of the comic and little cool like Sully stats and shit like that, little character info, stuff like that.
Oh, that's awesome, dude. The art tears of joy.
Yep. Those are the first 4 homages.
This is the boom.
What's that?
The frag.
Yeah. Yep. That was the homage to Keith Giffen's cover on Lobo's back.
Oh yeah.
So instead of the scientist and all the contraptions he was locked up in, he's swamped with a bunch of people trying to kill him.
Yeah, because on the smaller image, I couldn't see how the roach letters were done, because otherwise that would have given me a dead giveaway. So I was wondering to go, is this a homage to Lobo or Fragaboom? It could go either way.
Actually, this is one of the most important things too for people just starting out. And if you're in this crazy race of the crowdfunding comics, is get yourself a good group of people that are experienced. All right. So it's cool to be in the race with people that are on the same level as you, but you're not going to have a lot to feed off of with that person. You know what I'm saying? So it's important to get people that are longtime backers, people that are very I guess it's, as much as it sucks sometimes, because people throw their opinions out, but people who are opinionated about certain campaigns and shit and don't mind sharing their, wealth of advice with you. And then your peers who are more advanced in this campaigning thing. So with that, like when I was putting this up, I put these art tiers up and didn't think of putting up the bigger display of the pictures. And one of the homies was like, you need to do that because, and broke it all down. It's easier for people to see. And that's nothing I would have really thought about. So had a lot of good advice and helping hands with this page.
It's always good to do your research and bounce ideas off of people that have been doing it for a long time.
Yeah, and I'm glad I did that too because this presentation looks good when you're scrolling down, you're seeing the thing, and you can see them.
Oh yeah.
All,
There it is. Once you said Fritz the cat, now all I can see is that scene looping in the back of my head.
Yeah. It's so jacked up too because in the comic that cat was originally his sister. So, and I think in the cartoon they kind of allude to that, but then they just totally skip it. Our Crumb was a jacked up individual, man.
Yeah, I remember the famous picture of him getting the piggyback ride and the girl with that fat ass. And
he used to do that. He would like females that were taller and bigger than him because he was a skinny little dude. And I watched a documentary, and this chick was like, he would just hop on my back in his underwear, and I would just run around the house. This dude is weird.
Yep.
And these were pages that I didn't use that were originally supposed to be title pages and whatnot when I first started doing this book, and they were just shit that I didn't use. So I figured, get rid of them. So everybody who bought one of these comic strips, they got one of those unused pages as a bonus sketch.
Oh, cool. They'll be psyched when they get it. This is just gnarly.
Yeah, part of me is like, damn, you should have sold that, but
I'm like, yeah.
I could just do another rendition like that, somewhere down the road. I wanted to make the roaches a little finer too, so that's cool. I don't mind redoing it.
I mean, redo this and then just use the art that you redo for your green screen backdrop every time you go on.
Oh yeah, yep. That'd be tight. Yeah, it was original title page. And I decided to do something completely different, which I'm glad with. And instead, I opened it up, like the book opens up, and it's I'll show it off again if you don't mind putting it back on the
Oh, by all
screen.
means.
So not only do you have this cool like spread cover and shit, but I wanted to do a little something different, and I did this double pager as the intro.
Oh,
So you get that,
cool.
right? You get that. No, I don't think I've showed this yet on stream, but you get that cool, you know. It's like you open the book and you're going into Cat Shit Island.
Oh man, that's cool.
And then you see that dump truck that once you open the book, you know what that dump truck's all about, you know? And then you see a little
Little Lobo homage. That's cool. Ah! Okay, back to the roaches. The bootleg runs, we just talked about those.
Mm-hmm. And it's funny too. Sometimes you just pivot into certain things and people love it more. Like at first I was a little like, you know, sometimes comic book collectors can be very meticulous about certain things. But then I realized that a lot of collectors also love shit like this. So I was like, hey, you know, just lean right into it.
CD's nuts. That's your
yeah.
Nothing out of you right now. We'll save that for later, babe.
Ooh.
So this is the mixtape that you're kind of like, I don't really, but here you go.
Yeah, like this is a project I started in early 2012, maybe 2011-ish, and it was I got a homie down on it, and we just started putting together some raps and just being really obnoxious. That was the whole point. It was called Funny People Making Fun of People, and we were just really ignorant and just like I said, obnoxious. And it was very punchline savvy and just trying to be as much of a jerk as possible. So the whole goal was to make one mixtape, and then we ended up making two. And then we had enough projects where we had a burnt CD with another whole shitload. So we had three collectively, but only two that were printed or pressed and printed and whatnot. So we did that for a while, and then I was sitting on a bunch of them for years after the fact, and decided like a lot of the punchlines are so comic book heavy. And then on top of that, the whole like the look of it and everything matches perfectly with like the comic book and the environment. So like I drew that. We had this homie Abowski who colored it in. Then we did these. I did that. And I see like this is years ago, and I had roaches on this thing. You know, it was me and a homie.
Roaches.
Yep. And then
taking them out of the ashtray and smoking them, but you know,
this was the first album, this mixtape.
Yeah, that's almost got a Joker smile on the outside.
Yep, exactly. It was called Why So Serious?
Oh my God, way before the Why So Serious.
I think it should, no, I think it came out in 2011. This was the first mixtape.
Oh, okay.
So I think it was like shortly after that and stuff like that. So embracing that crazy like chaos and shit that, you know, Joker brought to it because we didn't give a fuck. So we were just going in shit basically to burn it down and whatnot. So yeah, I don't do that stuff anymore. The rap stuff, but I was sitting on like a lot of these. So those the first and second mixtape will be going out to the first 200 backers.
Oh, cool. Yeah, that Why So Serious album cover is just, I'm like, that's somewhere between the Joker and ICP.
Yeah, actually
Cool,
we did a bunch of not a bunch of shows, but we opened up for like Twisted a couple times. And,
cool.
Somebody sent in one of our mixtapes to this whole like ICP like contest they were doing or whatever, and we ended up winning like first place out of like a lot of people, and they gave us free tickets to go to the Gathering of the Juggalos, which we got to perform there, and it was crazy. It was definitely an experience. I will never do that again, honestly. Like I have a lot of homies that are still juggalos and all that stuff, and I appreciate and love them, but after that event I just stopped listening to like all that stuff in general. It was like it was wild, it was crazy, and it was It was a different fucking place, whole different world there.
I met them.
Yeah.
Because they were in town. They were playing the Civic Center, whatever they call it now.
Yeah.
And I was DJing a couple nights a week over at the Cadillac Lounge.
Yeah.
Off the highway, and so the owner went out, brought them back to the club, and they come upstairs. They're just looking around. They come upstairs, and they called up and be like, "Do you know who ICP is?" I'm like, "Fuck yeah, I do." He goes, "Well, they're in the building, so from now until then, anything that they won't fire you for playing from them play." I go, "Oh, that's gonna be
Yeah, it's like nothing.
yeah. Well, I had a few, and
Yeah.
slid some stuff out where I knew it was gonna get like rough, and they come up to the booth. He goes, "So, is it cool if we smoke up here?" I'm like, "Oh, no." But if you're gonna light it up here and then walk outside and smoke,
Yeah,
that's cool.
that's funny.
So I did a little puff pass with ICP.
Nice. Yeah, that's dope. Yeah, we opened up for Twisted, and then after the show, they were like, "You want to go hang with Twisted in their trailer?" And I was just like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Do they have food?" And they were like, "In the trailer." I'm like, "Yeah, they have food there?" And they were like, "No." I'm like, "Fuck that." And I'm just leaving. I think that's how I honestly like, "Yo, what's up, Arrogant Ape?"
Everyone's cool until you start explaining how magnets work.
Yeah, it was wild, dude. Like, I remember in the Gathering of the Juggalos, they had separate stages on this big field that were open, and anybody could go up, and they were just like 24-hour stages, and you could just freestyle. And so I'd be ripped off my mind on all types of narcotics, and it'd just be up there freestyling. And the weirdest, and like I'm out of my mind, and these people were eating me out. So one guy was walking around in a Batman mask and just a dilly whacker, like he was wearing a strap on. It was the weirdest thing, man.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and people are like boning out in public. Like you're walking by tents, you hear them. You're seeing the people get blasted on fences and smoking all types of stuff, like all types of stuff. People huffing gas, straight up just walking around trying to sell you ether for like a couple bucks or whatever. So it was insane. So I was like, all right, cool, first time experience. Never again.
Oh, I had this awesome experience, but I'm not going to tell the grandkids about it.
Yeah, it was gnarly. And then like sleeping in a tent in the field in the middle of summer, and then waking up like hungover and jacked up. It's all hot. Feels like your air is being taken out of your chest. It was wild. I'm having PTSD just thinking about it.
Sully Polaroids.
Yeah, so these awesome stolen Sully selfie Polaroids. This was drawn by the Dying Days of YouTube, the genius behind the trailer videos.
Yeah.
So he drew this for me, and I absolutely loved it. And I felt obviously the style and everything matches the campaign and everything. His delivery is perfect. So I saw this idea done by Brian from Aerith Saga, and originally I think it was done by originally by Cryptonotes. So they were doing that for their campaign, and so I swiped that idea. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, I just got my Cryptonals in the other week.
Yeah, it's a good looking book. It's still staying in my stack. I have to fucking crack that open and read it. But
well, it's still on my stack too, because me and my buddy Thomas from he's down in Georgia, and every week we do a show called OK Boomer on Thursday nights, where we flip flop back and forth, and we just pick like back issues like Golden Age, Silver Age, Bronze Age stuff, and just dive into it and give somebody like a look back at what's going on. It's perfect. Looks like he swiped the cam and started snapping away.
Yeah. And my favorite part is that zit, that disgusting freaking zit on his lip. It looks so real. It just pops out. Yeah, so these will be available to all the backers. So,
cool.
Yeah, just got to get a remade version. I got to have Dying Days sign that and send me an updated version on it so he has his signature somewhere.
Oh, nice. Yeah, well, that would be awesome for you to just do like a Sully sig on the bottom where you hold the Polaroid, waving it back and forth, trying to get the picture to come forward. It's going to come in the exact same amount of time as the last one did. It's not going to matter.
I wonder how upset everybody would be if I put like "Yo Mama" on every one of the little things, because I feel like that's something Sully would do.
Oh
No
my
respect, no
God.
regards for anything.
You're giving me flashbacks because I just saw a video before we came on of LaBelle Crawford, and he's doing your mama jokes with his mama.
That shit has not died at all. Like me and my friends grew up with that type of stuff, just busting each other's mothers, and so it's just.
Well, he said he was doing your mama jokes with his own mother.
Yeah.
And his mother said, "Your mama's so nasty, she suck your daddy's dick before she come in to kiss you goodnight."
That's fucked. That's awesome.
Oh man. Okay, that's why we had the NSFW sign up at the beginning.
Yeah.
We knew that was going to happen. That's cool though, man. I would get one of these and cut out a magnet and just put it on my fridge.
Oh, that'd be tight. I'm hoping this is something
like at the bottom of the fridge, though.
Yeah. Or put it in, like, if you have a photo album with your family and stuff, you just slip that in there somewhere.
Oh, there's a good close up of it.
Yep.
Oh,
I love that picture.
That's just dope, man.
We've gotten tons of good fan art too from people, so it's really humbling. A little overwhelming because I want to do stuff with all of it, but it's just not, feasible to do everything with it right now.
So yeah, wow, 17 days left.
Yep, 17 days left. Trying to get to 14K, and then gonna do a cool little garbage pail sticker style type of card with artwork done by ink spots. So once again, 9 Days of YouTube will put like the little frame together with the mock-up,
Oh, nice.
garbage pail kids type design and shit. So yeah, that's at 14K, and hopefully we make it to that. But a lot of people saying you make it to 20, and like, yeah, I hope that'd be awesome. But now it's starting to slow down. Now, surprisingly, I thought it would start slowing down, like how people say, like typically during the middle of the first month or whatever. But now it's starting to slow down. So, which I
it'll pick up like the last. It'll dip down and then come right back up.
Yeah. So hopefully, if people like the cartoon type style shit, they miss that type of stuff. Like, when they used to call comics like cartoons, this is what I kind of wanted to bring it back to. And it's very much like a bad guy story. Cause like I said, I've always been fascinated with bad guys. And I don't know if you're a big fan or watching any like the Korean type flicks, and where like a lot of their characters are just, even if they're a good character, they're so just fucked and corrupted, where it's like, you have no choice but to like this character because everybody else is just shittier, so you have to like this dude and this main character. But I've always loved that, how
I watched that series on Netflix. I can't remember the name of it, but everybody, all the guards in the prison had each one had like a symbol of like the PlayStation controller on their face.
Yeah, Squid Games. Yep.
Oh yeah.
Yep. Yeah. So there's a lot of like, I'm not sure if it's Korean or Japanese, and I think it's based off a comic. But Takeshi, the Ichi the Killer, that's what it is. Ichi the Killer. Like that's he's such a fucked up character, and then everybody else is messed up. Where it's like, well, you're not supposed to like anybody. So I like that. I love that about stories where it's like you're not supposed to like anybody in here. That's what very much like Sully is. He's not there to do any type of good whatsoever. He's just there to be and then just get worse as a Yeah, this video was remixed by Lord Finatra, so he did an awesome job. He cut up a bunch of skits and stuff that like Mandy and Umbrella Guy and EVS was saying when they were reviewing my campaign, like randomly one night. So Finatra just went in and blessed this whole thing, cut it all up. 9 Days of YouTube went in and animated it, and he also drew some extra shit. So a lot of this art that's in here with the talking heads and stuff, and all the cool letters that just fly by, and all the revamped word bubbles, that's all him. So,
oh, cool.
Yep.
So let's blast this.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce you to Rich Ayala and his Roach Balls.
Welcome to Cat Shit Island.
Welcome to Cat Shit Island.
To survive this radioactive toxic wasteland, a toxic radioactive nightmare.
That whole opening just slapped because cat shit is a funny word. And then boom, into this hip hop thing with like profanity.
To survive the freaks, beasts, and gangs.
What's in it? All the good shit, homies. guess what, motherfuckers? The art is complete.
You're gonna need some Rich Ayala's
Ayala, is that Vita's brother?
Roach balls.
Guys, okay, if you thought that was funny, you want to support Rich Ayala, back Roach Balls. This looks hilarious.
Back it today on Indiegogo.
This is great! And I thought it was just profanity, and I thought you were an insane person, but it turns out that you are a comic book creator and a really, really funny cartoonist.
I love this.
Fuck you, Rich. I'm gonna have to back this again right now.
Rich Ayala's Roach Balls. Back it today on Indiegogo.
We'll be promoting the living fuck out of this.
I love it.
Gotta say, we're blown away by your work.
Sully Cucaracha
This guy's fantastic,
is
dude.
one roach you can't stamp out. In demand now on Indiegogo.
Yeah, I like Roach Balls. I never thought I'd really say that aloud.
Okay, now my next question is, when is Sully going to team up with Cyberfrog?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know if Cyberfrog could even tolerate something like Sully. Sully's not he's not a good character, He'd be very hard to team up with. He's a very untrustworthy and shit. Like even bad guys wouldn't be able to enlist him for their evil services because it's just he's just like that.
just a wild card.
Yeah. It's like if you took Taz, how Taz had that fucked up mentality. He was like kind of talked and then he was just wild the whole time. And you mix that in with a little bit of like a old dirty bastard and Beetlejuice, and then it's just all like it's crazy. It's hecticness, That's why it's kind of hard to it's hard to pinpoint the plot because it's very it's very visceral, It's just like street beef, street confrontation type shit, It just pops, it happens, and then there's the culmination. There's the the fucking drama and shit. Yeah, the beef, the street fighting and whatnot, and that's
It's gonna hit.
this is. Yeah, and it's very fast paced because I'm not much of a long drawn in depth story writer or anything like that. I just like fast paced action, funny shit, poppy stuff that'll attract your eyes and make you go, ooh. That's the shit that I like.
And Sully runs quick so he doesn't get smashed by that brick on the back of the book.
Yeah, he's the reason why that brick's there. He threw it. See, you notice there's a window.
He threw it out the window.
Yeah, and then there's a funky looking family right here, and Sully's nowhere in that picture. That is not his house.
Angry Sully.
Yeah. So it's the funny thing is he's not even like an angry type person like that, like the type of character, because his whole thing is he's been, without giving out too much, he's been around for a long, long, long time. So if you're around for a long time, you're not really quick to anger and shit. You're very nonchalant. You're just like, and that's what he is. But at the same time, he's very if he'll see something, he'll take it. If he's just no regards or respect for his neighbors and all that type of shit. So it kind of causes a problem with everybody,
So this has 17 days left. When you're looking at going into fulfillment?
Looking for August. That's the farthest that I pushed it. So
Okay.
and that's to give me some leeway. So obviously, ideally, once the fund's complete and shit like that, bang, send all the stuff out to get printed, bang, and then hoping by May 14th is the last day. So maybe end of June, July-ish, I would be getting all the stuff, and then I would be. It's very small. It'd just be me, my girl, and maybe my sister helping me fulfill and stuff like that, and maybe her boyfriend if he's down for that. But so it'd be very small. So I'm assuming that'll take a little bit of time, but a lot quicker than just me doing it. But so hoping to do that, and I figure if Murphy's Law doesn't apply and none of that crazy shit happens, so by August I'll be ready to send shit out. But so far I've been pretty good at keeping people updated. Not too much because I know people don't like it when you bombard their emails with a bunch of pointless shit. But decent enough to let people know that we're doing good. So if something should happen, I'll keep everybody posted.
You doing any? You gonna look to do any store appearances once you have the books in hand? Say
Yeah.
over at the Chicken.
Yeah. Yep. I know Jay would definitely have me there. Years ago not years ago, but when I first started doing this and started kind of like showing it off, Jay was like, definitely got to sell some shit here and stuff. So I know that would definitely be a thing. And, by 2020 next year, maybe, I would like to start getting into Comic Cons and shit like that. Start doing that because the world's starting to go, normal, not require all this crazy shit. So I would really love to start getting into that, linking up with the homies. I made some awesome friendships and awesome connections with great people here. So I would really like to meet up with those guys and hustle books alongside them. So I really love to do that.
Oh yeah, the Rhode Island show is coming up in November, so
yeah, we shall see. And I have a couple tattoo homies too. They don't draw comics, but I have one homie that will do Comic Cons because he does all types of cool fan art and whatnot. So he sells it and does good. And he even said it too. At some point, he enjoys like doing these Comic Cons more than tattoo conventions and shit. So
yeah, 2019 they actually had a mini tattoo convention inside.
Yep.
RICC.
Yep.
And nobody could get anything done. It was like you had to sign up because these are like big name guys.
Yeah.
And gals, and you had to sign up like almost 6 months in advance to you could watch them do their craft and everything, but
yeah, it wouldn't be a walk-up situation because that would be pure chaos, especially for a tattooer. In a situation like that, where it's like a Comic-Con type thing, it would be too hectic, and that would be like, that's driving me crazy right now just thinking about that.
Yeah, it's like if you want one of the artists from Inked to do something on you on the show, you have to apply like a year in advance or something like that. Crazy.
Yep. Chances are with something like that, you're not even talking to that person directly. You're talking to a manager or some shit or something like that.
Oh yeah, I know. I'm not associated with him anymore, but I covered the 2019 con for Outright Geekery. So I had press passes. So if I get press passes this year, I'll go. If I don't, I won't go. But I get to meet a lot of like awesome dudes. I have a lot of friends that are indie people and cartoonists that sit up there. A friend of mine, Tim Jones, he does the Sour Grapes strip. It's like a twisted version of kind of like a Calvin and Hobbes style thing.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I love Calvin and Hobbes. That guy's artwork was amazing.
Oh yeah, and my buddy Mike Doherty, who's just like a freelance illustrator, also an art teacher in some town in Mass that he lives in, and I've got a bunch of commissions from him and a few other people that have gone up there. You always run into like some good indie people. Yeah. I hung out with Captain Compass, Graham Nolan for most of that weekend. If cool. there was nobody at his table, I would just sit there. And one day he got so stoked because some dude who looks like he was probably a wrestler at some point, dressed up as the original version of Bane that him and Chuck designed.
No kidding.
And this dude was over 7 feet tall,
jacked.
Like Graham ran over and stood next to him to get a picture with him.
Yeah.
And Graham's head came up to this dude's titties. So he was tall because Graham's over like 6 feet. So I'm like,
that's good. Wow. I can't wait till the day I see somebody like at a random con or some shit like that, just dressed up as Sully. They have their kid dressed up as Sully Cucaracha.
A little 5-year-old dressed up as Sully Cucaracha. That would be hilarious. Because then you could stand next to him and it would be almost to scale.
Yeah. If I ever get big time money off this shit and start doing cons, then we'll just hire like a dwarf actor or something to dress up in Sully get up and just be really aggressive with people.
Oh, that'd be easy around here. Well, dude, I want to thank you for coming on and hanging out with us, and great to talk to another local dude.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. I'm finding more and more like Shanta's from this area. Who else is Arvid? He did the Rex Mundi story.
Oh yeah,
I forgot his last name. He's from the New England area. Lord Crackhead. There's a bunch of other people. Man, it's crazy. So, yeah, New England.
Global Frequencies from New England too.
Oh, yep. He is. That's crazy. Yep.
I keep giving Neff a hard time. I'm like, dude, what's on my books? I bought the merch and the big box.
Yeah, you should be delivering that shit.
Where's my shit? There's
Yeah.
paper shortage. Brian's helping. Arizaga's helping him out, getting it all done. Like, you better get a chainsaw and start cutting trees down.
It's because Neff's bougie. He lives all in the woods and
Yeah.
and I live in. I said this too. If you take the worst towns in Rhode Island, the list,
Mhm.
I'm on one of those lists. I live in one of those. We're one of the worst cities in Rhode Island and shit. So, like,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So this is going to get downloaded and uploaded to my podcast platform, and will be available Spotify, Apple, anywhere you get your podcast. You'll be able to listen to this later on. Once that posts to my account, I will share it out and tag you over on Twitter. If it'll let me. I had to send the link to the show here 3 times. One time I actually got a message, like a pop-up message saying that you can't do that right now. Twitter is full.
That's weird.
Yeah.
You think it's everybody getting all these crazy influx of the floodgates of activity happening?
Mm-hmm. Even better, I heard earlier today that Musk had his people lock everybody out of coding. Like all the employees for Twitter all got locked out.
Oh no shit. That's funny.
So they couldn't do any
treacherous shit.
Not that they would do anything underhanded, like, I don't know, ban the president of the United States or something like that.
Nothing. I don't think so. There's good as saintly people working there at Twitter. So I trust them 100%.
Well, of course. Dude, thanks again so much. Best of luck with everything. Hopefully this gets up to 14K. You got 17 more days. Get in on this. Back Roach Balls. All of Rich's info and the link to Instagram are in the show notes, either up above or down below, depending on where you're watching. If you're listening, it's going to be in the description wherever you get your podcasts. Thanks, everybody. Have a great night.
Thank you, Will. I just want to say,
there
we tune out, I just want to say thank you, Will, very much for having me on the show. And I'm always humbled and appreciative about shit like this, opportunities like this. Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming on.